ho.
I
think I'm kind of pumped up tonight.
Yeah, I just telling Clay I was feeling jebbish, and then we got on pregame there, and then woke up a little bit. What do you got there tonight, Clay? We do the tradition.
Tonight, here we go. We have the Kimber Model 84, guys, and I'm telling you what, this is the 7mm 08 I like to shoot. I love this gun. I can't say enough about it. I don't really like my. I mean, I do have a decent scope on it. It's from Brunton, but I should change it. I've never been really that.
Doesn't look very streamlined to me. It looks huge, actually.
I won at one of the banquets one time because we were.
I'm cooking, huh?
Yeah. Hey, Dan, how we doing? Dan knows all about that Brunton stuff. But yeah. So anyway, I like my 7M 08.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is a tack driver too.
Kimber has nice firearms, but mine's not quite as nice as Clay's. You know, I got the Smith & Wesson M&P 22 here. That's right. One of my, actually, in my opinion,
I got
the best semi-automatic 22 of all time right here. Yeah, Ruger 1022. Those are nice too, but not like this. Not like this. I've had a 1022. I like this better. This is awesome.
I had that exact same gun. I love it, Jamie.
Oh God!
I think that's over on the other wall. I don't have enough room behind me for
what it's missing is a suppressor. I still don't have a 22 suppressor yet. Dirty.
I guess we need to work on that, don't we?
Yeah.
Hey, Tramp, it's good to see you. Marty, all these guys are chiming in, guys. Marty Beard. Gooser said, "If you make that face, it'll stay that way better."
Yeah, Marty's talking about
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, they put a little pre-show thing on YouTube there with a picture of my dad and
Eric,
my dad's character.
So Eric's got on here. He goes, "Yeah, them 7mm 08. They're deer. They are a deer killing machine."
I'm surprised they're not more
sound
popular.
Like Biden tonight. What the hell? You know.
Come on,
Doug.
man.
Hey, and I seen Doug down there. Good to see you again this weekend. We went down to the stock show, had some fun. But I'll tell you what, before we get going too much.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Yep.
We have got to do the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. You know, I will never, ever, ever mess that up again, Jamie.
I do believe that. So
hey, Brian, good to see you. 701
MVEs, militia violent extremists. That's right. That's what we're all labeled at by our esteemed leader, Mr. Joseph Robinette Biden. What a freaking stupid middle name. But
no kidding.
So before we get going, I'm going to say one thing for sure this week, in case nobody knows. Man Down Sporting Goods got on board with us as another sponsor of the show. So we got that. Evening, Troy. I'd like to thank Brandon over there for that. That's awesome. It's good having him on board. He's a great guy. He's going to be a good sponsor for us.
If you want, go check him out there. He's got a website, guys.
Yep.
And I couldn't put the link on the website, our page. I mean, I've got it listed there, but I don't know what. I guess I got to get smarter on the computers, but I'll get it figured out.
I think you're pretty good at it, Clay.
And then I want to quickly, I want to plug this. This is my own thing here, guys, is because I like these guys and I know that they're just great people. And this is the Brenner Angus sale. It's coming up February 24th, 2023, 2:00 p.m. Central Time at Kist Livestock. They're offering 25 red Angus and 45 black Angus, but the red ones are better, of course. Anyways, as far as I'm concerned. And I tell you what, I've been using their red Angus bulls in my heifer program for them first calf heifers, and I can tell you right now, them babies they calve easy, and his bulls are great keepers. So if you're in the area or you want a great bull, check these guys out.
Awesome, sounds good.
There's a little free plug.
Yeah, good. Hey, we do that, man. You can help some people out. There's no problem doing that.
And of course, we gotta thank all of our sponsors.
Yep, absolutely.
We got Laurel Auto Repair right down there, 309 South Washington Street, Axon the Boys. Second Amendment Mechanics. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Yep,
and of course,
absolutely.
We got the blind guy in North Dakota. If you need some great blinds, Lynette, if you're listening, I hope you guys got in touch with each other and made that happen. And of course, then our brand new one, Man Down Sporting Goods. So we want to thank all them great sponsors.
Awesome. Yep, it's awesome. Appreciate it. If you guys do any business with them, make sure you let them know you heard it on Guns in the 701, and you appreciate them supporting shows like this.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Clay, we're doing a few more shout outs and we'll get started here. I know my youngest daughter is always talking about the show and she's at school. So I know there's a young man out there named Isaiah. He following us on Facebook now, or on YouTube. So Isaiah, if you're listening in tonight, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
All right. One of her schoolmates.
Yep.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Well, then I gotta mention the
Yep.
Foss boy, Kalen Foss's son, Caden, I believe is his name. Shout out to him. And hey, I know that Braden's listening most often too. So that's a couple of my son's buddies. So shout out to all them guys that are listening as well.
Awesome. I think Clay said he ran into some younger guys down at the stock show and
I did. That made me feel old, but we had some fun down there at the stock show. I can tell you this: we went down the Flags and Wheels, which is you get to race, go karts. You got the fast ones, you got the slower ones for people under 18, but they're fun too.
Mm-hmm.
We went and played laser tag, and there's nothing like hunting down your kids, except
I
taught them too well. They're getting good, and they hunted Dad down and took him out, which is, I guess, that's great, right?
That's fun.
Then we went and played reball. If you don't know what reball is or tack ball, it's paintball, except they use these little bitty rubber balls. I don't know if you can see that.
Leave it well then.
Let's
see.
I
can't pop out here. Oh yeah, there you go.
Well, I had 15 of them on my body, but I was done. And those 20-year-old guys that come sliding through doorways and popping little balls off at you and on the ground. And you know what? I'm 48 years old and I just don't flex like I used to. And yeah, we took a beating, us old guys.
Yeah.
They had 7 marks on all 4 of them together. So if that tells you anything.
Hey, Eric, I appreciate you keeping that decal clean on your back window.
There you go.
I polish it up on a regular basis. So,
by the way, Corey was down there too. So he's our flop king.
That. He's back flapper there. Yep. That's pretty nice, Corey. I don't know, the Clay's kid kind of outdid you there with that belly flop.
He just comes screaming in from the side and this boom, big old belly flop.
He had some good hops.
Eric, you're right. I'm getting slow, but
all right. So we're going to start out tonight talking about the gun bills here in North Dakota.
Yes.
And how many do we say there were here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them we were talking about. And one of them already came out of committee. We went through that last week. That was Ben Koppelman's House Bill 1431. It actually got a do not pass in the House committee. It went to the House floor and passed 90-4. So the Senate has that. I haven't heard anything on that yet. And
I guess they didn't give a crap what the committee thought, and I'm glad to see that. Just because them bills get a pass or do not pass don't mean anything once it gets to the floor.
Don't get discouraged if they get it, because you're going to hear that again here shortly. Another one that I know had some movement was another Ben Koppelman, another bill, so you can carry in a courthouse and in federal buildings. That got a do not pass recommendation, 10 yeas, 2 nays to not pass, and 4 people didn't vote. But that's I can go to the House floor here too and get changed and get passed easily too. Because I mean, this other one destroyed it. 90-4.
I can tell you this: I think there's a heck of a good chance it will pass on the floor. I don't think it'll pass as big because we got a lot of rhinos, as we saw with the whole auditor thing. But that's not our cup of tea tonight. But I think we got a good chance there.
Yeah.
Call your reps. Let them know.
So Marty said we don't have any sound on our webpage. He said he's back on YouTube, but
we'll have to go see what's going on. I can't tell you what's going on that, and I won't be able to fix it tonight. I know that. We'll have to check it out, though.
So, Marty, if anybody checks back, see if it's working. I don't know, but I haven't checked it out. I know YouTube and Facebook are working. Yeah. So as of today, I got a note back from one of my representatives saying that all these bills, all of them have already been heard in a committee. So now they're in a subcommittee being worked on, and they're going to meet tomorrow and Friday at 8 a.m. and start working on these in the subcommittee. So
Marty. Hey, just to check, I've just checked it. It is working now. Maybe check your mute button, but I do see now it must have been something else happening. But it is delayed on there. But yeah, so go check it out.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No problem, Clayton. No
Hey,
problem at all.
Matthew, good to see you. You're right. Koppelman is solid. That guy is a solid dude, and I really, I'm glad he's in there. To me, he's just like having Rick Beckett there, so I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
Amelia, good to see you. Facebook sounds good, she says.
Okay, good. Yeah, somebody just texted me. They're wondering where to find us, so I'm texting them back here if I'm kind of off in la la land when you're talking here for a second.
No problem. And I can tell you guys, if anybody listening can't, if you're having trouble somewhere else, yeah, check out the website. Just it's easy, www.gunsinthE701.com.
And not only that, go ahead and bookmark that because we're going to be talking about shortly about some shady shit that
As to why.
social media sites are doing, especially YouTube.
Yes.
So bookmark our page, and because sometime you might come on here, we might get zapped for something. They go back in your history and look for stuff, and they find it. And guess what? We're off. Well, you know where to find us on our. And one of the things about the webpage is you can't comment on there. But the name of that thing, I was telling Clay, I've watched other live streams.
Working on that.
Yeah, who have their own website like we do for the same reasons about getting sniped off of these, the big three. And it's called Discord. They open up their own chat room in there, and you can chat in real time with the live stream. So,
yep.
Anyway, yeah. So without going on that, let's move on to our first subject here. Got this from the American Suppressor Association, ASA.com. It's a good organization. But I actually forgot about these guys. I was a member a long time ago. How the heck I forgot about it? I apologize. But so Virginia and New Mexico introduced legislation to ban suppressors, right?
They did.
Okay, in New Mexico, Senator William Solis, Democrat.
Here he is. This guy. Yeah, here he is. There's your Democrat.
Yep.
New Mexico.
He introduced Senate Bill 171, which would outright ban the manufacture, sale, barter, trade, gift, transfer, or acquisition of mufflers, silencers, or devices for deadening or muffling the sound or discharge firearms. And so that's, the guy, obviously Democrat, hates something that's good for your hearing, takes away recoil, makes shooting, because this guy is just it's an assassin's tool or a poacher's.
And this is a pattern, Jamie. I noticed in a lot of these states where they, they got maybe a divisive, half and half type thing, maybe even control the Democrats in their House or their Senate. But check out the other things, and look at the things he's sponsored. These are his bills.
Well, you did some digging on them.
I did. I can't stand commies. State purchase of electric vehicles, studying New Mexico high-speed rail. That always is that high-speed railroad thing is always the gem of Democrats.
Man, they always do like that. You're right. They do.
Energy generation facility requirements. Sounds good, right? To go read that bill. Yeah. I guess he doesn't want anybody to have lights if you go read that bill. At least not cheap ones. Sale of unleaded fuel at airports. He pretty much wants that gone. New home build, renewable. So if you buy a piece of property, it's your house, you build it. No, you're gonna have to go by the Democrat approved green energy waste of freaking money standards. Prohibit, of course, automatic firearm sales. That's Senate Bill 171. And then no aviation fuel with any lead sales at all anywhere. Well,
okay.
Whatever. So
yeah. So you want the good news? You want the good news on it, Clay?
Let's hear it.
Okay, Knox Williams, I believe, is the guy's name from the ASA, American Suppressor Association, went there and testified, and it went to a committee, and by a 5-3 vote, they removed the suppressor ban language from it, which he was shocked. I was shocked.
I was just gonna. I don't have it here. Darn.
Yeah, you're right. Control freaks. That's exactly what that is. They're big time control freaks.
Absolutely, and like David Fetting says, they don't want to protect our hearing, so we can't call out. Like that one. I like that one. Hey, James Bornman. Hey.
Yeah, that's my cousin James. Thanks, James. Appreciate you, buddy.
Who's he married to?
I know who's James
Bornman down there.
James Borneman? I don't know what his wife's maiden name
Mara, is it?
No. Okay. Bornemans are from Hazen.
Okay. I wondered because I know someone down there married to one. All right, no problem.
I appreciate you listening down there, cousin. I love it.
Absolutely.
I know. Yeah. So, all right. So the second bill we're going to hit on here, guess what? Virginia, Dan Helmer. What party do you think he's from, Clayton?
Oh, he's got to be a Democrat.
You're right on the money. House Bill 2240, prohibiting the sale, transport, etc., of assault rifles, assault firearms, large capacity firearm mags, and silencers.
Imagine that. And I can't imagine though that's gonna, even if it passed, I can't imagine.
I got good news for you on that one too.
Okay, let's hear the update.
Okay, ASA testified in opposition of it, right? And guess what? When they put it back to a subcommittee and they voted 6-4 to table it.
I just saw that. I pulled this up here.
Yep.
Subcommittee recommends passing by.
So good news on that. Happy ending story on both of them.
So yes, February 7th, left in public safety. That means that's like going to the 31st or 30, whatever they do in South Dakota. If they go to and refer to that day, it's a dead bill. They just didn't want to take a stand on it. So good. That's where it belongs.
Good. Well, guess what?
Heap of history.
Yeah, Clay. Guess what? Virginia, though, governor and I think I think they call them the House of Delegates. Actually,
yeah.
It's Republicans run it now. They flipped that.
Yeah,
and the governor's Youngkin, so
he ain't gonna let that happen. I can't imagine that.
I'm gonna make a statement and say I'm gonna ban those.
Hey, our buddy Travis is back.
Yeah,
Dan Helmer for president. Dan Helmer, and that's who introduced the bill in Virginia, guys.
President of the Mr. Dung Pile Club. I'll say.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, all right. So let's go. We got another story here from ASA. Okay, so what happened was right before the SHOT Show in Vegas, YouTube started just freaking knocking off gun channels.
Yep,
and nobody knew what the heck was going on. So Stephen Gutowski of the Reload, he does have good stories. I've heard him on some podcasts. He sounds kind of odd, but he's smart. He knows his stuff. But he was among those impacted was American Suppressor Association sponsor Silencer Co., which they're huge. I think they actually make more silencers than anybody. They got 110 followers on YouTube, and they completely deleted them like several weeks before SHOT Show. Okay. But okay, Clay, here we go. You're gonna love this one. I'm gonna play a little back and forth with you here on this one. The NRA and Gutowski were able to open up direct lines of communication with YouTube. Wait a minute, Clay. The NRA. What are we told about the NRA by all these hardcores?
You mean that NRA organization that don't do anything? They just take your money, and they're actually anti-gun, according to some. You mean that one?
Yeah, the ones who can consistently sell our rights out and bargain away. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's impossible. That they'd make a deal to get gun channels back on, right? Okay, so ASA worked directly. American Suppressor Association worked directly with both the NRA. That's right, the NRA and Gutowski, to help ensure that every page that was impacted is made whole again. So here's what Gutowski would say. Social media giant YouTube reversed course on deleting videos and channels featuring videos where a silencer is attached to the gun. There was also a thing they did. They would kick you off if you inserted a 30-round magazine into your They claim their computer algorithm or whatever they call them on there would delete people, and it's not really a person. Said that was considered building a gun because part of their deal is you can't show people how to build guns anymore on YouTube. So yeah, okay. So upon further review, this is what the YouTube spokesman said. Upon further review, we determined the videos in question were not violative. I didn't know that was a word. Of our community guidelines and have reinstated them. A YouTube spokesman told the Reload, when it's brought to our attention that content has been mistakenly removed, we review it and take appropriate action, including reinstating and removing associated strikes. All right, well, I'll give them credit for that. I think their policy still sucks, but I'll give them credit for that they did actually. Thank you to the NRA and ASA and Stephen Gutowski for doing that, for getting in touch with them.
Absolutely. And
so if you don't think your NRA dues go anywhere, you said, I ain't giving the NRA shit anymore. Well, guess what? I
Guess
did.
what?
Clay did, and guess what? It worked.
And I can tell you right now, the NRA legislative, yeah, Amelia.
You better tell Amelia about Trav quick.
We did. I've been following this. They're good. They're good. But I can tell you that Brian Gosh, he's been in North Dakota on these gun bills. He's been down South Dakota. There isn't a lot going on down there, but he covers like, I don't know, what is it, 7 or 8 states now, because they expanded the area. But I can tell you, they've been there. They've been up there testifying, and they've been there doing their job. So, and that's right here in North South Dakota.
Look at Trav. He's one of them.
Oh, goodness. Guys, we've explained it before. Travis, thanks
I'm
for
not sure if he's
again.
BSing us or not. So.
Who knows?
So, Clay, let's see. It's time for Obscene Profits time out here. And
say that.
When we come back, we're sticking with suppressors for a while yet. So hang in.
All right, here we go.
Guns in the 701 is sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located on 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. Doug and the boys are patriots who support your Second Amendment rights with friendly service, decades of experience, competitive pricing, and expert advice for all your auto needs. It's getting colder out, so bring your vehicle in for a checkup and let Doug make sure you won't get stuck out in the cold this season. Stop in and let him know that you heard it on Guns and the 701 and you appreciate his support for your freedom and, most importantly, our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, Bismarck, North Dakota. Give him a call, 701-258-6308.
Guns in the 701 is sponsored by The Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, The Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701-222-3932, or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com. And we want to thank both The Blind Guy and Lauer Auto Repair. Also, we're going to give some love here to Mandan Sporting Goods, our brand new sponsor for Guns in the 701.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
All right, guys.
Brandon's running some kind of Valentine's Day sale week. Brandon, I apologize. We talked about it. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. He's running it on radio stations, though. And I'll tell you what, when I was in there talking to him, man, if you guys need ammo or reloading supply, I bought some powder. Brandon's got a ton of stuff. There's some stuff you might not find, but I mean, guns, ammo, gun cleaning supplies. He's got all kinds of stuff in there.
And I can tell you, you sent me that audio. I just couldn't do much with it in the time frame, but I'll get it. I'll try to do something with it here.
Well, he's going to be running it all month, so we can hit it next week.
And I gotta give a shout out to David Fetting. Just I tell you what, guys, he's with 1760 Sports LLC right there in Mandan, North Dakota as well. David does a lot of charity work for a lot of organizations with firearms and doing the transfers and getting the guns. And he's got a good supply of things. He just got in a supply of powder. So, go ahead and if I'll get some information for you guys up here for the next show. But I have all the information. Just email me at clay@gunsinthe701.com or jamie@gunsinthe701.com, and we can hook you up with David as well. A lot of great guys that I'm telling you guys, these are true patriots, so we want to support them.
Right on. Awesome.
I know what you were laughing at.
Travis likes bourbon, so.
All right. So let's keep going with suppressors, huh?
Yeah. So, but by the way, because Clay and I pimp the NRA all the time because we're both lifetime NRA members. Clay worked for the NRA. I volunteered for the NRA. Yeah. The NRA doesn't give us a dime, but hey, Clay and I are more than open to them giving us,
we're kind of like Keith Warren.
Uncle Wayne, get on board, baby.
Keith Warren's always giving them plugs, and same reason, because we know how important it is. I'm telling you guys, no matter what your feelings are about the NRA, and we're going to address this a little bit later when you see the clip from freaking crazy Joe Biden about assault weapons. But in 1994, when that assault weapons ban was going through, I'm telling you, if it wouldn't have been for the NRA then, that would have been way worse. There was no stopping it. Kind of like the situation we had just before this last election. The Democrats owned every single part of that. The House, the Senate, and then they had that commie Clinton. And I'm telling you right now, you wouldn't have even had a semi-automatic 22 Buckmark Browning or a semi-automatic 76 or even a 7400 rifle in a Remington, because those are semi-auto. You wouldn't have had them. They were all on the list. And the NRA litigated that, and they caught a lot of grief, guys. They caught a lot of hell for that, but that's all they could do, because it was going to pass no matter what.
Yep. All right, Clayton, you want to start off on this suppressor one we're hitting on here?
Well, go. Why don't you take it?
Okay.
I don't have my paperwork.
So we were talking about suppressors earlier, and so the number of applications for NFA tax stamp has more than doubled in the past 4 years for people buying suppressors. And these are the figures released by the ATF during a seminar at the SHOT Show in Vegas, which I mentioned earlier. In 2019, 342,860 suppressor tax stamps were processed there for the NFA. And in 2022, the volume more than doubled to 709,508.
How about that? Hey, good night, Travis.
Yeah, night, Trav.
Oh, wow, that, doubled in literally 3 years.
Yeah. And so the ATF, and it's called the Firearms Commerce of the United States report. They issued it in 2021. And they say there's 2,664,775 suppressors legally owned in America, which sounds about right, because I see them all. I actually thought it was more than that, but that's a pretty good number right there. I think.
I like their term, legally owned.
Yeah.
You can buy the kits online, put them in a filter. Anyway, we won't talk about that tonight.
Yeah. I heard about those too. So ASA kind of dissected these figures, and they figured in the past decade, the number of retail outlets offering quote muzzle devices grew by 17% each year. And there's a 10% increase annually in the companies that make suppressors now. I mean, there's a ton of them now. It's it's like ARs when they took off.
Yeah, I mean, heck, you got Lane suppressors down there in the hills. You got Max suppressors over there in that Spearfish area. I mean, that's just two I know of, just right down there in South Dakota. So, I mean, and I know there's a ton of others, guys. I'm not really giving anybody any plugs or nothing. It's just they're everywhere. Everyone's making a suppressor.
Right. And the NFA stamps issued, here it is again, Clay, to law-abiding citizens for suppressor rose by 30% between April 2022 and May of 2021. And I'm sure I'm part of that statistic right there too.
Yeah.
And
well, David points out that those purchases from 2 years prior are repeat purchases that caught the suppression bug. And that's actually important too. I mean, I know now guys that have, like David pointed out, more than one suppressor. They've got a 22 suppressor. They've got a 30 caliber. They're getting specific suppressors now, when most people used to buy one, and now they're like, hey, those are pretty cool.
I got one. I got the cheap, like a Rebel. My buddy got one, so I got one. They're not in business anymore. I think something happened, but I mean, I have two of them. I got one for my 6.5 Creed. It's a 6.5 specific, and I have a 30 cal that I actually use on everything that I got. They work great. They're aluminum. I mean, they're not full auto rated, so they're on quote hunting rifles. And I have two other Yankee Hills. I'm in the market though, and hey, Brandon's on board now, so. Yeah, he sells suppressors and Mountain Down Sporting Goods.
Doug, I am not sure exactly why it takes them so long. My guess is because they and they want.
I do. I listened to a whole podcast about it from the guy who owns Silencer Shop, and he said he's actually been. It starts out when they get it, they send this stuff to Virginia, and he said he went there and they literally have these boxes of people's
There you go, boys.
yeah, people's applications or forms sitting in the damn hallways of these big buildings, just sitting there until they decide to get to them.
Yeah,
And then after that,
just
they
don't
ship them
care.
back they go to Oregon, and then they sent them somewhere else. But they're so backlogged, and then these guys just like they're not in a big hurry to get to them. They just kind of lope around like Jamaicans there when I was down there, and get to it when they can get to it. So, and Brandon told me the electronic thing. He said it's still taking like 10 to 12 months. He's just telling people, and they do it. He goes, just expect 12 months.
And I can tell you right now, I want to get basically one just for 22s. I got several 22s now that are threaded, including pistols.
Mm-hmm.
I throw that big 30 caliber on there. Yeah, it works, but I can tell you it'd be a lot nicer if I just had a 22 specific one.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I'm going to be buying another one as well. I don't remember. David can chime in here. I think David at 1760 Sports, I believe he can do it. I don't know if he is doing it though. Let us know if you are. I know that he's got the licensing to do it, but yeah, I mean, we can hook you guys up with people who support this show pretty easily.
Yeah. Hey, my cousin James said 500-yard shot with a 6.5 was sweet. Thanks, James. I appreciate that. I did a little quick shooting there for 500 yards just to show a little accuracy of my creed a while back. It's on our website and our social media sites. And Dougie says, it's Form 1 SBR.
And that's on
E-file
an SBR.
took 1 month.
And that might not be near as clogged. I mean, I bet it's going to get that way now with the new rules, but yeah.
Yep.
You got to remember too, guys, under Merrick Garland, with the Justice Department of Justice, and all the commies in there, along with ATF, I'm telling you right now that things are going to slow up. They don't want us having these things, and they're going to do everything they can to make sure that it's as difficult as possible.
Yeah, so suppressors, Clay, currently legal in 42 states. 42 allow their use when hunting. We're one of them. North Dakota is one of them.
We're one of them.
Yep. It's I can honestly tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed hunting, anyways. But when I got my suppressor now, it's great. I can, I'm hunting with another guy who owns one. It's nice not to worry about my ears, but I have people in my family who don't yet, and I'm just like, oh my God, really? But that's the way it goes. So when I'm around them, I still got to put in the earplugs or hey, anytime I'm there, I'm like, you want to use my gun? Which my dad did once, got a nice big whitetail with it. So
there you go. Hey, David did chime in here. So he discontinued his Class 3 stuff a few years ago, but he'd be happy to help anyone make the right choice. So anybody looking to get into suppressors, we got the resources and we got the people that listen to the show, or people I know or Jamie knows. We can help you out as well. It's not a hard thing to do.
Right. The only thing that sucks about it is just that it takes the time, and you got to give them suckers your $200 freaking dollars. I mean, $200 is a ton of money. No, but you know what? I'd rather just go drink $200 worth of booze and piss it out than I would soon give it to the ATF for nothing. But
and you got to remember, when they passed that, everyone forgets. When they passed that in 1934, the NFA, National Firearms Act, $200 was a lot of money back then.
They did it back then to try and put it out of reach for people.
Right. And they never changed it. I don't think they're ever going to be able to change it. I mean, you got guys like Matt Getz up there, and they want to get rid of the NFA, and I absolutely agree. It should be gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah.
So Eric's got my 300 rum Remington Ultra Mag. He's starting to speak millennial. Don't worry about it. It's the muzzle brake, so it's really loud. And I don't get about
brutal.
This. You go overseas. I mean, they always like to compare us overseas. Let's talk about overseas. And several of these guys that go over to Africa and hunt safari, you can literally buy them off the shelf like any other accessory, like a magazine, like a scope, anything, because they feel it's a hearing protection item, and it is.
It is.
And over here, oh no, we're going to regulate it. We're going to tax it. We're going to put every roadblock we can. Talk about the difference between our country, who has a Second Amendment, versus a country like Africa. It don't make no sense.
Yeah, not at all. And I said, I thoroughly enjoy I mean, shooting, hunting, anything with like my girls who shoot, they other than the 22, they don't want anything to do with shooting a gun without a suppressor on it. It actually turns them away from it now. So,
I think a suppressor for young kids learning to shoot is an excellent idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I used to catch a lot of hell because I'd start kids with shotguns on trap leagues with semi-autos. And what are you doing that for? I said, it takes away the recoil. Make it fun first, and then teach them the rest of it. I mean, I can tell you right now, you want to spoil somebody, either a lady or a young person learning to shoot, give them the biggest gun you got and make it hurt and make it not fun. They're done forever.
I'm sorry if I laugh occasionally if you're listening on a podcast. Okay. I'm reading the content. I'm reading a message or a chat there, whatever you want to call it, Matt.
Introduce me to the model for Dakota Silencer and I'll buy a damn stand. My goodness. Yeah. You know, maybe that's what we need to do. We're doing this all wrong, Jamie. Maybe we need to do the guns in a 701 calendar. Maybe start out a gun a month, not like we used to do at the NRA where we did one every week. And have guys like Matt pose. Yeah, there we go. Guys, and he's single.
Yeah.
We'll get Keith O'Donnell on there. We'll get Matt on there. Hey, Jamie.
Get all the single guys.
You're kind of ripped. You don't want to have me on there. Unless I'm doing the
Clay,
Bubba one.
The dad bodies are supposed to be coming back here.
I can do the Bubba body. Yeah. Hope they abolish it. Oh, there we go. We can do a guns in the 701 calendar.
Oh, recoil's a bit. I don't know. I disagree with you on that, Keith. I hate freaking recoil. It's
Keith. He definitely knows recoil.
I never bothered me much until I had 2 rotator cuffs. I have recoil now. It's
half deaf, and I can attest that Eric's deaf, and it ain't just selective hearing. Although I bet Charity thinks it is sometimes. That's his wife.
Oh, right. Hey, my Uncle Fred's listening up there in Mercer County. Thanks, Uncle Fred. Glad you tuned in here.
There you go. So Doug, I see you got suppressor tamed down the noise on my 338 Lapua. That's one thing I can't, I didn't have my Lapua when I bought my suppressor, and I sure as hell wish I had a suppressor I could put on it. So now, I'm really in the market for 2 more suppressors, one specifically for the 22, and one that can go bigger. And things now, little hint, guys, I know 50 calibers are going to be allowed for hunting in North Dakota. We might have to work on that, getting a 50 cal.
Matt's Mr. February is calling his month already too. So.
Oh, great! You know what's going to happen? It's kind of like
big heart. You'll wear that big heart. You know
what's going to happen? We had the original assault weapon idea come from Todd Mitchell there. I Heart Radio and Mitchell in the Morning. Guess what we're going to end up doing? We're going to end up doing a damn calendar now.
We might. Well,
Bubba Cal. Yes, Kelsey Bubba.
I got a text from a listener. He says, I got 4 suppressors. Right on, Lance. I got 4 too. And, a lot of people want more guns. I want more suppressors and more ammo. So that's, I think I'm almost. Did
you see what Lynette said?
Dad, look out, Clayton. Yeah, see, you're sexy, man.
I don't know about that. I definitely have a face for radio. I should be doing just radio. But right. Matt Simon, Mr. February, we can put you in a little Cupid outfit with your gun, shooting your arrow, his crossbow, because he's a real hunter.
Yeah, I got a crossbow. Clay's got a crossbow.
Barrett makes a 50 caliber can. Yeah, I know they do, David.
I know somebody's got one on order. Speaking of 50s, Doug and I are going to do. We're going to do another. Clay's actually sounding like he's coming up. We're going to do a.
I've got it in my schedule.
Yep, Saturday afternoon. It's looking like 40 degrees and sunny and low wind. We're going to head out to the high alpine range in Morton County and do a little 50 cal. And I think you guys are going to like this one. I've been jacked up about doing this for a while. Plus, I think we're going to do a 454 Castle lever action review, and then Clay and I might do a little promo for G&T 701.
Maybe I'll have to bring my presidential target up.
Do it. Yes. Perfect. All right.
Well,
so let's give. All right, Clay.
Before we go on to the next deal here.
Yes, sir.
I think, and make sure I loaded up the right one here. we probably better do at least another obscene profit time.
Okay,
Right?
I'm calling it right now. We're going to be like an hour and 15, hour and 20.
I know we're going to be. We're going to.
Hey, guess
everyone
what?
keeps telling me to go 2, but that's okay.
If K-Fire ever picks up our podcast, we'll cut it off for them in an hour and we'll keep going after that.
There you
Go ahead, Clay.
Here we go. We'll give an obscene profit timeout, as Rush used to call it.
Guns in the 701s is sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located on 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. Doug and the boys are patriots who support your Second Amendment rights with friendly service, decades of experience, competitive pricing, and expert advice for all your auto needs. It's getting colder out, so bring your vehicle in for a checkup and let Doug make sure you won't get stuck out in the cold this season. Stop in and let him know that you heard it on Guns and the 701 and you appreciate his support for your freedom and, most importantly, our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call, 701-258-6308.
Absolutely. Right, and that is your Second Amendment mechanic right there in Bismarck. And I took my vehicle to him recently before I went to the stock show. I'm not telling you, I just wanted an oil change. He did a complete service job, and I can't tell you what a great job he did in the service you received there. So you can support a Second Amendment store plus get great service. Doesn't get any better than that.
Yep. Awesome. That's awesome. Got another text. Hey, Lance, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate the kind comments. I just love it when we get people listening and they enjoy the show.
Absolutely.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember James telling me that we had a family reunion in South Dakota there. What's that campground before you get in the Black Hills there, Clay? They got a big pool there, an outdoor pool. And
that doesn't narrow it down.
What's
you talking about the Full Throttle Saloon outside?
No. This is farther west. You come out and then you turn up into the hills there. They got the I can't remember. Elk's in the name of it. Elk.
Oh, yeah, and I don't remember.
They're pretty awesome. They got a nice pool and a facility there and a bunch of campers and little cabins you can remember. Yeah, I remember him telling me that he's a lever action man, which is so. James, stick around. We're gonna have that, like I said, that 454 Casull lever action review. We're gonna do it Saturday. So hard to sit in a deer stand while I was digging in my. Whoa, Matt, we got him all fired up tonight.
Yeah,
that calendar.
I can tell you right now, there's a calendar on our docket. I'm pretty sure. All
right. Yep. Okay. All right, Clay. So let's move on to. We got another. We got a concealed carry topic we're going to hit on here. Constitutional carry. My bad. You want to lead off on this one, Clayton, or you want me to hit it here?
We can. I'm guessing we're talking about Florida and South Carolina.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's kind of funny to watch this. Florida and South Carolina, constitutional carry. Think about this. North and South Dakota both have it. But these two states are just starting to fight for it, and it looks like they're going to get it. So January 30th, legislation was introduced in Florida in hopes of making the Sunshine State, by the way, they stole that from South Dakota. Anyway, the 26th state to adopt constitutional carry. Then they were alerted that South Carolina Republicans were working hard to beat out Florida for the 26th position.
Oh, yeah.
You got to love this. Friendly competition to reaffirm our constitutional rights. Now, guys, that's freedom right there. So South Carolina State Rep Bobby Cox, who's a Republican, is sponsoring H. 3594, titled the South Carolina Constitutional Carry Second Amendment Preservation Act of 2023. It'll make the Palmetto State the next constitutional carry state, and the bill already has more than 60 co-sponsors. That's pretty outstanding.
Yeah.
Cox spoke to Breitbart News. Our founding fathers never intended for law-abiding citizens to get a permission slip from the government for self-defense. Amen to that. Amen. I always said that. I've never liked permits to begin with, but that was the step we had to take to get the constitutional carry. Revenuing. Yep. He also stated that passing this bill will show that our commitment to restoring and protecting our Second Amendment freedoms and preventing crime in South Carolina.
Perfect. See, he gets it, man. That does prevent crime.
Absolutely.
It does prevent crime. That is
guns,
awesome.
Less crime.
Yeah. So he's got his one of the co-sponsors here, Merrill Smith. You think he's a Democrat or Republican, Clay?
Oh, that's got to be a Republican.
Merrill Smith said crime is a top worry for the constituents of our state. Passing H. 3595 will allow more options for families to protect themselves while fully restoring our Second Amendment freedoms. This is a good thing for South Carolina, and this is my favorite part, and should strike fear into those that wish to commit crimes with firearms. Whoa.
Awesome.
That's right. You bring yours, guess what? I'm bringing mine.
That's right.
It ain't going to be easy. Love it. I love that.
And I can tell you, as a guy that carries pretty much 100% of the time, I have had to pull my firearm 3 times. And I think I've told you that before.
Mm-hmm.
And what it did was it took care of the situation. I didn't even have to fire it. I would have. But it took care of the situation. And I'm telling you right now, if more people carried and criminals knew they were carrying, you ain't going to see the things that are happening in these other places, which, by the way, has some of the most stringent, archaic gun control laws on the books in some of these other places.
You know, I'll expand on that in a second, Clay, but Brian Warner says, what is with the reciprocity between states with constitutional carry? North Dakota actually is trying to get something passed like that, but I don't know. It's like I said, we're going to have to wait till next week and longer than that to see what's happening. But
so the reciprocity, I can kind of touch on this. So if you have a concealed carry permit between North and South Dakota, it's good, okay? And you can go between the state line. Constitutional carry in North Dakota, we need to work on that maybe in the next session. And I actually addressed this with Ben Koppelman at one point. This wasn't the session to do it in.
That was one of them on the deal here. It wasn't, huh? Okay, my bad.
It may have been, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Okay, no, I'm not seeing it. My bad, Brian.
But I can tell you in South Dakota, it's open to anybody that's a law-abiding citizen. So it don't matter if you're from North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming. It's just like Wyoming's. And I can tell you right now that the South Dakota Highway Patrol commander didn't think so. But I know I helped work on that bill. I didn't get it passed before I retired. But my buddy Stace Nelson got it pushed through. He was a senator down there, state senator. He got it pushed through, and it was 100% for resident or non-resident United States citizens to carry concealed constitutionally without a permit in the state of South Dakota. And they do have true constitution, as it should be. So we don't have it yet in North Dakota. You got to be a resident, unfortunately, here. But we're going to work on that. That's going to be a goal of mine in 2 years. Get that pushed through without, and I want that. I should not have to tell anybody, including a law enforcement officer, that I'm carrying. It's none of their damn business if I'm carrying or not. I'm not the problem, and we need to drop that. But guys, that's how this works.
We talked about that, Clay. I'm like, guess what? If I am going to use it on you, like, does it matter if I'm going to? What's the difference if I tell you or not?
I'm just going to do it. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just going to pull it out and shoot you. I mean, if I'm a criminal who's an idiot.
Even if you told them, hey, I got a gun, like your reaction is going to be quicker. I mean, I think that's ridiculous to have, but whatever, you know. Better yet, Doug Thompson. Better yet, national constitution. Hey, it would have been Trump wanted it on his desk.
Yeah,
and guess what? Mitch McConnell.
Not just Mitch. Remember Paul Ryan?
Oh yeah, Paul Ryan.
We owned the House and the Senate the first 2 years of Trump, and we couldn't pass shit on anything. Yes, I'm fired up because I remember that. Not just Constitution. We couldn't get nothing of our agenda through because we had McConnell the turtle and sellout Rhino Ryan, and they just didn't. They hated Trump so much they wouldn't do nothing.
Yep. So there are currently 25 constitutional carry states in the U.S. And hey, the race to 26 is coming, and it's going to be 26 and 27. So it's and you guess what? Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like a fine ass own part little country right there.
Yeah, let's build a wall. I like it.
That's what happens to your radical MVE. So,
absolutely
thoughts like that. All right, Clay. So let's move on. We got something else that I guarantee you there's going to be even Republicans that are going to think this is a radical court decision. I don't think it is. I think it's just fine.
I want to show you one quick thing.
Yep, go for it, my friend.
I brought it up I learned how to do this now. So, can you see that? There you go, guys. This is basically
there you
right
go.
now.
That's nice and clear. Nice work.
This is actually the concealed carry permit states. Look at the green. The green is the constitutional I mean, that's pretty much I forget, there's 40 some states in that. You got May issue, which is California, New York, and those little East Coast states. But if you look at the majority of them states, boom, it's a shall issue. Although I would take some, I don't consider North Dakota a shall issue like a lot of people do. You still got to take a test and do all this other crap that you do not have to do, say in South Dakota. You just got to pass the background check. But we're working on it. But as you can see, we're in good hands out here in the Midwest as far as concealed carry.
Yeah, we could be a lot worse off for sure. There's no doubt about that. So, all right. So,
Brian, I don't know how the other 26 are written. I just know North and South Dakotas and Wyoming's. And Wyoming's is great. Wyoming's is just like South Dakota. You can go to Wyoming as long as you're a legal citizen and can carry. You're good to go.
Good. All right. So we're gonna go on to. I put in our lead up to the show that we're going to talk about restraining order. With people are probably like, what the hell does that mean? So. The appeals court here, February 2nd, appeals court rules government can't stop people with restraining orders from owning guns. There's a bunch of people. What? Are you freaking kidding me? That is so ridiculous. A 3-judge panel, the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that banning people under domestic violence restraining orders from owning guns embodies sanctuary policy goals meant to protect vulnerable people in our society. Guess what? Just because you got a restraining order doesn't mean you're some dangerous freak. I mean, Democrats would love for you to believe that. Oh, yeah. And I'm not saying there isn't people, but there's people with no restraining orders that are dangerous.
Absolutely.
All the time.
You don't even know it.
What started this is police found a rifle and a pistol at the home of this guy who was subject to they call it a civil protective order, I guess, in Texas, that banned him from harassing, stalking, threatening his ex-girlfriend and their child. They also banned him from having guns. He went to court, pled guilty, later challenged the indictment, arguing that the law prevented him from owning guns was unconstitutional, which I agree with. I agree with that. And, they went back, and after the Bruin case, guess what? The Bruin case, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, set new standards for, I wouldn't say interpreting the Constitution, I'd say following the Second Amendment by saying the government had
interpreted law according to the Constitution as it should have been.
Yeah. They made courts, instead of going by feelings, you need to make rulings consistent with the nation's historical tradition of firearm regulation, which is pretty much nothing.
That's right.
So it got reversed, and guess what? Here's what happened. The decision came from a 3-judge panel consisting of Corey Wilson, James Ho, Edith Jones. Wilson and Ho were nominated by, guess what? A bunch of people say the most anti-gun president in Donald Trump.
There you go.
And the other guy was nominated by Ronald Reagan, which a bunch of other people say was an anti-gun. He did have some anti-gun views. When he was out of office, I'll agree with that. But guess what? If it wasn't for Trump again.
That's right.
Rights wouldn't be restored. Rights wouldn't be restored.
The Supreme Court justices, but that's just tip of the iceberg. Trump filled he backfilled so many of these district courts, these appellate courts, these federal. I'm telling you, if it wouldn't have been for what Trump did in 4 years with those, I'm telling you right now. So I want to address something. We're going to go backwards there a little bit.
Yep.
D. Wiggy, hopefully I pronounced that right. Constitutional carry only scares me by having people carry with zero training and experience with the gun that they carry. What stops them now? Just because you may not have it legalized, do you really think that stops anybody? Because I can tell you right now, I'm a law-abiding citizen for the most part. I believe it's unconstitutional for anybody to stop me from carrying, and I don't care. I carry wherever the heck I want. But a criminal who's going to do the wrong thing, do you think that really stops him? Because it does not. And I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of people out there that have concealed carry permits that probably don't know how to operate their firearm, unfortunately.
You're right. You're 100% right, Clayton.
So, as far as that goes, it doesn't matter.
Dave, that argument has been brought up, and every time a constitutional carry passes this in every state, they say that, and they think all these accidents are going to happen. Man, it hasn't
never,
happened in one state, honestly, to be
it
honest.
never comes to.
I remember Ed Schaefer was on the radio when it passed saying the same thing. And there's going to be road rage. And I mean, I talked to him. I brought this up before, but I mean, I'm not going to be on for too long. But I told him, there's, Governor, you're conservative. You have no basis for that. It's just a belief. Look it up. It's not true. And to his credit, he said he was open-minded about it. But guess what? When you get a concealed carry permit, though, Clay, there's no shooting test. If you get what the class 1 is, then there is.
Yeah.
But if you just get like your class 2 carry permit, there is no shooting test. So you're getting a carry permit. And I'm not trying to pick a fight with Dave. I'm not.
I'm not either.
But there's you get your permit and you still don't have to prove how handy you are with it.
And here, I'll put Dan's comment up here. Dan Brown was basically a law enforcement officer in Dickinson. And Dan's a hell of a good guy, guys. And
absolutely.
If you don't know our history, but Dan is a great guy.
He
says no one is saying people should carry without training and or experience with a firearm. However, requiring government permission to do so means it is no longer a right. And he's absolutely right.
That's perfect, Dan. That's perfect.
Dan hit
That's
it.
Right on
he
money.
hit the nail on the head. There's our T-shirt. Dan, you have to give him royalties.
Right. And koozie. Yeah.
Koozie,
Dan knew it. Yeah, you knew what the car was too. So yeah, I don't worry about that at all. I mean, I can see where people would think that way, but it's not. It's just never proven true in any state that has passed.
And we're not trashing you. We're really not. We're hoping that you're getting some information here and understand that.
And I know
it really doesn't matter. A false sense of security is just that. It's a false sense of security.
He probably rolls around in his big white truck with the guns and the 701 sticker.
There you go. Awesome. We're happy to have him as a fan.
Yeah, and if criminals, they probably have no damn training at all.
And that's just it. I mean, we're kind of going down a rabbit hole here, but I always try to, when I was testifying a lot of times when I was lobbying, I'd be like, I'd always get this from these reps or senators and state legislators that think they're pretty smart. They'd bring stuff up that, well, what about criminals? I go, well, I don't know. The definition of a criminal is that they break the law. Do you think they care whether you need a permit, whether you can't go in this building, whether you can even own the gun? No, hence that they're a criminal. They just break all the laws and then do what they want with
it. There's no
hence
laws
being
for
a criminal.
There's no laws for a criminal. They don't care. Yeah. They couldn't care less. But so Clay, guess what? There's a couple of people who don't like that. Merrick Garland, you talked about him before, the commie, right?
Oh,
Merrick,
yeah.
I will not be partisan if you put me on a Supreme Court. Hey, Mitch McConnell, I thank you for doing that one, buddy, denying that guy.
Yeah, that was the one thing he did.
The Justice Department will seek further review of the Fifth Court's contrary decision. Really? Is that right, Merrick?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that works out for you. And then, of course, we got this guy. We've talked about him, and we're going to be talking about this joker a lot because this guy is among those critical of the judges was California leftist Governor Gavin Newsom. This deranged vision of guns for all is a direct threat to safety, and it will only accelerate. Well, I agree with you on one thing. Gun ownership and gun rights are going to accelerate thanks to Trump and the Second Amendment movement, buddy. So your butthole's only going to pucker up tighter there, Gabby.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so then right here, too, Newsom, shortly after Newsom endorsed a bill in the state legislature that would ban people from carrying concealed guns in nearly all public places, with an exception for churches and businesses who put up a sign saying guns are okay. I think carrying everywhere should be legal, and businesses that don't, and government buildings included, our tax dollars pay for this crap. Business who don't want it there, I'm fine with that. That's your business.
It's your private
you don't
business.
Want guns in there, put your sign up says no guns on the premises. That's fine with me, because guess what? I'll be more than happy to turn my back and go somewhere else for somebody's business.
Absolutely.
That's your choice. I'm fine with that. It's your private business. Go for it. And as far the Democrats and leftists, yeah, it's just like YouTube when they want to ban gun channels. Guess what? YouTube took federal funding to build their shit up. So no, YouTube isn't they're privately owned now, but they didn't get that way. And the internet isn't privately owned. The internet's owned by everybody's ass. So
it's public domain.
Right. So public made the highways. Does Ford tell
you? Wait a second.
Tell you what you can't drive Chevys on the road?
No, Al Gore created the internet. Don't you remember that?
Yeah. This whole thing of like these big social media giants, like it's their private business. If you don't like it, go stuff it and start your own. Nah, there's way more to it than that. So that's BS.
Yeah.
All right, Clayton, we're getting fired. I'm getting fired
up.
I'll
tell you what. On that, should we take a quick break?
Yes.
And, let's do an obscene profit.
Okay. After that, coming up after that, Second Amendment bullet points.
There we go. Oh, yeah.
All
that's something kind of news. All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go, guys.
Okay.
Guns in the 701 is sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located on 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. Doug and the boys are patriots who support your Second Amendment rights with friendly service, decades of experience, competitive pricing, and expert advice for all your auto needs. It's getting colder out, so bring your vehicle in for a checkup and let Doug make sure you won't get stuck out in the cold this season. Stop in and let him know that you heard it on Guns and the 701 and you appreciate his support for your freedom and, most importantly, our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call, 701-258-6308.
All right, and there it is, Lauer Auto Repair. Thanks, Zach. So I'm going to play a couple things here.
Yeah,
I am going to first play something that happened in Oklahoma. This was last week already. We didn't get to it because we're getting guys. We got so much information anymore. But here is an Oklahoma sheriff. This guy gets it. So I just want to play this clip.
I'm Oklahoma County Sheriff Tommy Johnson III, and I would like to clearly state my intentions concerning my deputies enforcing ATF Final Rule 2021 R-08F regarding the use of stabilizing braces on pistols. On Friday, January 13th, the United States Department of Justice released a new rule prohibiting the use of stabilizing braces on pistols. Currently, there are millions of pistols with stabilizing braces in use in the United States. According to the Oklahoma State statute, local law enforcement personnel cannot enforce a rule established by the DOJ, as opposed to a federal law established by Congress. This state statute creates a contradiction. Therefore, I have instructed my deputies, if you encounter someone in possession of a pistol with a stabilizing brace during a low-level incidental contact, like a traffic stop, traffic collision, or a motorist assist, deputies are not to take any action in regard to enforcement of ATF Final Rule 2021 R-08F. If a deputy encounters someone in possession of a pistol with a stabilizing brace while committing a crime with that weapon, that person will be arrested and prosecuted as allowable by state and federal law. In other words, if a deputy encounters someone with a pistol equipped with a stabilizing brace, they will take no action against that person, unless that person is using the weapon in the commission of a crime. Additionally, I will not allow my deputies to participate in any enforcement action or confiscation pertaining to the ATF Final Rule 2021 R-08F or anything similar enacted in the same manner. I'm Sheriff Tommy Johnson III, and like all the men and women here at the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office, I am proud to serve you.
Oh,
I think the Republican nominee for president just found his VP.
I think he did too. My goodness. And I would imagine our Stark County sheriff over there, Corey Lee, probably has that same feeling. And I can tell you what, I can't tell you how much I love that sheriff right now.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Keith, you're right. And I can tell you right now, down here just south of me in Corson County and Perkins County, South Dakota, and even in Sioux County now, we do not have sheriffs like that right now, guys. These are not constitutional sheriffs. So don't count on them. But we do. They are out there. They are out there.
Man, it's awesome to hear that, though. I sure wish there was a lot more there's good people in law enforcement, no doubt, but man, we need a lot more like that guy. That's
and
awesome.
this is why these sheriff races, this is part of our Second Amendment bullet points. Guys, here's what this is. This is kind of new where we just kind of fire off anything. Maybe we didn't even have nothing to pertain to the show.
Something we
And I'm
scratched
telling
down.
Yeah, and I'm telling you right now, these sheriffs that you're electing, it's important. They are the top law enforcement guy in your county. And it is like this guy, he clearly said it. I know we got the one down in Harding County, South Dakota, that he will put these people in his jail. He don't care. I mean, he told the highway patrolman to get the hell out of his county. So you got to love that.
Yeah, we'll put that comment back up there for Troy. I want to read that for the podcasters. Doug and the guys are great. They have done lots of work in the past. That's a buddy of mine from high school, knowing the guy for decades, Troy Howard. That's right, Troy. Thank you. I appreciate that comment for Doug. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And I like Eric. He goes, he can come replace ours. Eric's in Perkins County down there. So Eric, I think Kelly's about ready to retire. Maybe you need to run. There we go.
Yeah,
you can run for sheriff.
So
the other thing I want to address, and then I'll let you kind of take the rein
go for it, Clayton,
because I have it loaded up. So I'm going to play this clip, and we've already hit it, but we're going to go ahead and address it just one more time.
Okay. Ban assault weapons now. Ban them now.
What a buffoon. Look at Bulbert.
Love you, Bulbert. Look at these Democrats. All weird looking people.
Look at them. Democrats are just ugly, angry people. McCarthy is sitting. I'm glad to see that.
Mass shootings went down.
False.
Let it expire in the Republican administration. Mass shootings tripled. Let's finish the job and ban these assault weapons.
Oh, what a lying piece of crap.
Okay. So Clay was right. They didn't plummet, and the mass shootings never went up. They took 8-10 years until after the assault weapons ban actually sunsetted that they started going up again. I think they didn't start going up until the end of Trump's administration. They took off when Biden got in there, huh?
Yeah. I mean, every time a Democrat seems like they get in office, guess what? Seems like these mass shootings, which are defined as 3 or more people. Let's remember, guys, it's 3 or more people.
And most of these are gang-related shootings, or the vast majority are gang-related.
Yeah. And every time they get in there, then all of a sudden it starts happening. Now, is it still happening? I don't know. But they're certainly reporting it more. But I don't think it's any more or any less than it always has been. Yeah. And I can tell you that the stats, and I always quote this, it's More Guns, Less Crime from John R. Lott Jr. He wrote that book during the assault weapons ban, and then comparatively, he actually added another edition afterwards when it expired. And it did not do anything significantly during that 10-year period. Nothing.
And I've brought up a number of things of not using AR-15s or AK. We're mass shooting. I'm not going to do it right now, but guess what? Finish the job. Let's go to that a little bit, Clay. Let's finish the job. Biden bragged about he passed the 94 assault weapons ban. He defeated the NRA. I'll tell you this. He finished the job, right, Clay? No, he didn't. Because you know why?
All right.
Because the Democrats, Joe Biden included, Bubba Clinton, all of them, they kept going for more gun control. The job job is not finished for these people until when, Clay?
The job for these people when it's finished is when they have every single firearm and the Second Amendment doesn't exist. That is truly what they believe.
Yep.
Feinstein said it. Mr. and Mrs. America, hand them in. Plain and simple.
If I could have got the votes, if I could have got 51 votes, I'd have said, Mr. and Mrs. America, hand them in. No, you didn't, Kenny. We're still going, buddy.
We're still going. We seem to go at least an hour, 15, hour and a half.
Yeah. All right, Clay, you got anything else you want to add to that? I'm gonna hit on a few things. Otherwise,
I think we.
Okay, so I was talking.
I
was talking about social media. So here's the deal: before Elon Musk owned Twitter, Steve Daines, Senator, Montana, put a picture up. His wife shot an antelope, posted a picture on Twitter. Nice antelope too, by the way.
Nice antelope. I did go take a look at that after you.
Put it on Twitter, got his account suspended for it. Right? Guess what? When Musk took Twitter over, he got his account reinstated. Now, what in the hell is wrong with posting a picture? millions of people hunt in America. What the hell is the problem with posting your? Guess what? If you don't like it, move the hell along. Clay and I have deleted people off of our YouTube page and Facebook page who don't like it, and I've told them straight out in some of their comments, if you don't like our content, go to somebody else's. It's simple as that. Piss off.
And we haven't done it to that many people because you know what? If you want to say stuff, go for it. But when they start getting stupid, yes, then you know what? It's not productive anymore in their history. But maybe a handful. We really haven't done it that much.
Not many. I mean, we've let people get away with
a lot of stuff. There's a lot. Go check it out on our YouTube channel.
Yeah. All right, so that was awesome, and he personally, went on and thanked Elon Musk for letting freedom of speech go, and which is that's awesome. I wish, I'm glad to see YouTube, which we talked about earlier, reverse the thing with suppressors, but I'm still afraid. Like I've mentioned before, I'm gonna say it right now again: www.gunsinthE701.com. Go on there, bookmark that page, because if Clay and we ever get booted off for some ridiculous crap, that's where you're gonna have to find us.
That's right.
Okay.
You can,
you don't rely on and it would definitely hurt us. It would hurt anybody. It hurt them gun pages when they could. Yeah, because most people are so. What's the word?
Guys, right
yeah. Okay. Put that up there with Dane's.
There's his page now.
Wasn't he the governor there first? Actually.
What's that?
Was he the governor there first, or am I thinking of Gianforte? No, Gianforte was a senator. Now he's governor. It was. Danes might have been. Okay, anyways, yeah, that's look at that. That's a hell of an antelope there.
It's a nice antelope, and that's what they took down for. I mean, are you freaking
look at that? That is a freaking big antelope.
Oh, it's a nice antelope. I'd be for that thing
too. I'm gonna apply for that down on your land this fall, Clay.
Go for it. Come on down. I've had some nice ones down here, but. We might have to get him with a bow and be a real hunter.
Yeah.
I'll kind of rifle season starts.
I got crossbow. So, all right, going off of it, we're sticking to the hunting theme there. We're showing that. I got another one of my bullet points here. This one is going to tweak Clay a little bit, which is kind of why I'm saying not only just to tweak Clay, but just to get the information out. Game and Fish. Put on their website, electronic posting for your land is now open. Clay loves that.
So should I get on my soapbox?
Yeah, do it, Clay. Do it.
So in 2019, we brought forth a bill which would have made all land in North Dakota considered posted. And of course, Game and Fish Mismanagement, along with let's just call them out: Pheasants Forever, Ducks Unlimited, Bow Hunters Association, Wildlife Forever, Mule Deer Foundation. Pick your poison. The only ones that didn't really do anything was Delta Waterfowl, came out against that bill, saying that no, you guys can't have your property be your private property. No, we should have access to it, even though there's no sign. So then it went into an interim study because they knew they had to do something. And then they invited the North Dakota Game and Fish Mismanagement to the table, which makes no sense to me. It's a private property rights issue, not a hunting issue. Mm-hmm. And they came up with electronic posting, which was one of our ideas. But the idea was to have people posted as open, not posted closed. Again, the onus fell on the landowner. So I won't do it. They can cram it. I'm not going to do it. My sign still takes preference. And I encourage you to get some North Dakota lockout signs if you do it, because they actually do help.
I did get some of those signs from Clay, and I can tell you what, this year they're going up on top of. I actually, like I told Clay earlier, we were talking about this pre-show. I actually enjoy getting in my mule, my side by side with one or two of my buddies or whatever. My dad, we go out, put a couple brewskis in the cooler, drive around the land, put the signs up. Hey, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to electronically post it. I'm quite certain my uncles aren't going to do it either. So, and I'm more than happy to post their land for them. I don't have a problem. I buy the signs. I put them up. They let me and my friends hunt there. I'm totally fine. I enjoy it, which is fine. But it was, if everything was posted and that's the way it was, I'm cool with that too. So, but there's going to be fresh signs up. Hey, Clay. There's going to be fresh signs up, so that somebody looks over, hey, you see that faded sign? They must never come here. Not out our land. It's all fresh orange. Bright orange means stay the hell out.
So, yeah, and I can tell you that here's another little tidbit if you're wrapped up on that, but make sure if you're going to do the electronic posting, go for it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it.
I'd do it both.
To me, it puts the onus on us, and
If
that
you want
was
to do
the
it both,
whole
do them
purpose.
both.
We're going to work on it some more. We got to have a couple changes take place in different representatives in there. We made some progress in the House, but we're still not there. So there's no sense in wasting the energy and the time on it till we have the votes.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if that's ever going to pass, to be honest with you.
We're close. We're
Is
close.
it? Man, I don't know. You're more optimistic than me, but.
Well, I've been involved in that issue since 2000.
Yeah, you're more into it than me, so.
But
We got a few comments here. Let's hit these, and then we'll maybe hit the happy ending here.
So we got Eric the Yuppie Groups. That's right. Talking about the posting deal. As a big city guy, I'm okay with electronic because at least I get a number to call. I'm okay with a no. Just give me up. Kenny, I agree with that. My biggest issue with this was, and if people want to do the electronic,
thanks for calling. At least,
yeah, absolutely. I just wish they'd have done it the other way. Have them post it open. Then you know. In fact, to me, that made more sense because then a person could go there and look at it and say, okay, these areas, these private pieces of land, these are open to hunting.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. Or if you want to have it posted with a sign, same thing. Post a sign up there that says open to hunting. But we should not because we are the owners. We own that private property. It's no different than someone who owns private property in town. I can't go on your land. In fact, when we were working on this, all the major cities, Dickinson, Williston, Watford City, Bismarck, Minot, Fargo, Grand Forks, Jamestown, that was just the major towns, all had ordinances that, guess what? Ban people from entering private property without permission. Imagine that. We just want the same thing.
Yeah, Clay,
it's our property.
I just want your TV, man. Sure. Come
on. Matt makes a great point here. If we'd all just respect one another, landowners and hunters would no longer have a need, basically, for big daddy government to be involved. He's absolutely right.
Tread harder, daddy.
And you know how this goes with me, Jamie. I'm a hunter, for criminy sakes. I love it. I've hunted private land. I've hunted public land. I did my share of asking people, going out there, maybe fixing fence in the summer, earning their respect, their trust, and became very good friends with these people. Same thing here. Now that I'm a landowner, my goodness, the friendships I've made over the years, I still let people hunt. I just want to be able to meet those people and make those decisions myself. And I shouldn't have to put a sign out there that says it.
You know, and
that's simple.
This too, I mean, it's not kind of in the same vein, but you got to realize too, even if somebody hears this guy will let you hunt their land, there's only so many deer to kill, and the landowner's not going to just let you go in there and snuff everything out and there's nothing left. Like I got my dad's land, and a bunch of my friends come out and help out there. Both my uncles have land. My buddies help me. You know, we build fence, we fix fence. We do stuff out there, and you know, we got all the family members. We got younger kids coming up now, and you know, is there a lot of mule deer on our land? Yeah, there is, but I'm not, you know, just gonna. Hey, yeah, come on, it's free for all. Oh, you just got a doe tag? Shit, come kill them all. Guess what? When there's no does, no bucks come out. They're dead. The does are dead. The does have. You kill a doe, you kill her twins too. You kill 3 deer right there. Now you don't just kill the doe, you kill 3.
Well, and you know, I look at it this way. You know, Eric made a good comment up here, and of course that's a whole other subject. I don't believe in property taxes. I don't think I should have to rent my land from the state, from the king every year. But since we do,
that's the main shit.
And before everyone goes off on things, I don't take one single dime of federal money. I don't participate in any programs. We do not do that here. Mm-hmm. So, but, and Kenny, I want to, you know, he says he's from Fargo. You're right, Kenny.
I'm sorry,
there's
Kenny,
a lot of that goes
on.
There truly is.
Why don't you read that, Clay, for the podcasters?
For the podcasters, Kenny says, I agree. Unfortunately, if I say I'm from Fargo, it's an automatic no. So I have to lie, and so I'm from some small town. The old boys are gone, and the attitude has changed. Times have changed. Absolutely right.
I agree. I'm guilty of that. Sorry, Kenny. I know you though.
Well, I used to do that, but I can tell you this right now. I actually now, when people stop, even Minnesota, you want to talk about someone that gets probably more persecuted than the Fargo, West Fargo, is Minnesota hunters.
Oh, for sure.
But but I can tell you this. I have a series of questions I ask these people. They don't know it, but they're in an interview. And
Oh, you got a purification test, huh?
absolutely, because I own the land.
Okay.
But I can tell you right now, if those questions aren't answered correctly, and they're not hard, they're simple, patriotic, constitutional questions.
Yeah.
Not hard. Anyone should know them. You're not going to get on. If I see a Ducks Unlimited or a Pheasants Forever sticker on your window and you're a member, you're history.
You're conservation.
I do not support those who do not support us.
You don't support conservation?
Yeah, they're right. I don't support conservation. By the way, but no, I know what you're doing, and it's right. I hear that all the time. Go to your public land and tell me how much great stuff is in North Dakota. I'm not talking South Dakota.
Or plots.
Or go to plots and tell me how many big bucks are harvested versus
not very often.
Land. Because us as private landowners, we have to have a good land base. We have to have a good balance. I can't have too many. I can't have too few. I like to hunt.
That was my point
I
about
not
letting everybody
herd.
kill deer.
And I can tell you right now, if I have a tag, which I do every year, until I get mine, you're probably not going to be allowed to hunt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the privilege of having the land. If you want that privilege, go buy your own land. But if you come to me and I'm your friend and we get to be friends, I guarantee you the doors are going to open. I let a lot of people, and Jason Kofi, if he's listening, my goodness, I met this guy. He did the right thing. In fact, I was out hunting that day. He found my wife. He found me. I interviewed him essentially. And I said, well, I don't want to waste any more of your time. You and your wife and your kids. I said, if you go back to my north place, there's a sunflower field over there. There's going to be a buck in there you're going to like. Go take him. That's how that works, because he was a nice guy, and now he's become a friend, him and his family. In fact, he's invited me several times to go ice fishing. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. But there's a guy that I even told, bring your camper down if you got one. We'll plug it in over north and just stay there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how this works. Build that relationship. And Kevin, get to know me. I can tell you right now, if you do, you might be surprised.
Yeah. So
Not Kevin Kenny. Sorry.
Amelia says, what's an example of what a way that you would let down if you turn them away from hunting? So it's simple. I'm just being honest. Hey, either during hunting season, all my friends pretty much hunt. Pheasant season, bow season, I'm hunting, and my buddy who have bow tags. Guess what? The land's occupied right now by us hunting. And like Clay said, if everybody in my family gets their deer, then, but until that point, no.
Yep.
Same with pheasants. You can hunt pheasants. We go up there for the whole day. When I'm gone, it's my dad, and we're out of there. It's my dad's land, my uncles. If they want to let somebody hunt, then that's their land. They do what they want. When we're there.
And what I'd really like people to do is ask the Game and Fish Mismanagement why on earth they let so many tags out. Because I'm telling you right now, they let, especially in my unit, 3F2, they gave way, way more tags out there than what the deer were available. It's just a simple fact. We had the EHD go through. We just had the CWD discussion last week, but EHD took out a crap load of deer in this area, mostly whitetails.
Yeah. So
and
Clay,
they should have reduced those tags.
So I got an update here on what's Ben Koppelman here, that 1431.
Oh, yes.
Which was possession at the state capitol. That passed the House, right? And it went to the Senate. So it says, looking into this one, Senate wouldn't take it until after the crossover break. So
it's going to be heard in the Senate after crossover.
Yeah,
which that's not too far off.
That's from my senator, who's a good guy. He's a real good guy. He could come out and do some shooting with us this summer, actually. So.
Kevin never shot a doe, hit several.
Yeah, but Clay's right. There's too many buck tags in my unit. My unit doesn't give that many out. There's tons of does. You want to give out more? The doe tags get snarfed up too, and they put extra ones out. So
here's what I don't understand about North Dakota Game and Fish. I come from a state that didn't do this, and there's other states that do the same thing. For one, they don't give out a buck tag. they give out an any deer tag or an any antelope tag, and then you can also get a doe tag, usually, depending on the unit, as an additional tag, or they offer a double tag. The any deer or any white or any antelope tag allows you to make that decision whether you're going to take that buck or you're going to take a doe. We don't even have that option in North Dakota. Unless you're like me, I'm a landowner, so I get a grass tag.
Yeah.
I have never understood why they wouldn't allow that management tool, because I thought they were about management, and does are where you have to manage. But nope, it's just a buck tag. No ifs, ands, or buts. Either a mule deer or a whitetail or an any. I don't even know. I said I get a gratis tag. But
Yep.
this just has never made sense to me, because the any deer tag when I lived in South Dakota was great. I'd hunt bucks. I ain't gonna lie, I want to get a big buck. If I didn't see a
Most do.
buck, get to that last weekend, I went to the nearest cornfield from the landowner that I had permission on. And I'm telling you guys, that's how it is in South Dakota. You have to ask.
Yep.
I had 10,000 plus acres I could hunt just because I made those relationships. And I went to the biggest, fattest doe I could find and shot her and had some good eating. I mean, I built them relationships, and I just don't see that up here. I think that's part of the problem.
I would say this too. A lot of people who, I'll let you read that, Clay, when I'm done. I'll make it quick. A lot of people who kind of construe me and Clay around I bow hunting because we get angry about it. That's not the reason we do sometimes. We've explained that a number of times. But I bow hunted and I rifle hunt. I will tell you this straight out: bow hunting, the deer you kill during bow season, especially early bow season, way better than deer you kill during rifle. The taste of that meat is far better than when you kill them during rifle season when they're eating crap, brown grass, and they're all hormoned and up and rutted up, and way better. So, I mean, if you really are bow and you love the meat, I would suggest you get yourself a bow tag and kill yourself a nice big doe. And I'll promise you, your chances of getting on somebody's land to kill a doe, way more.
They do. They go up.
Way more.
So here we got the landowners know what's on the land, and to a point try to manage it in unmanageable herd to the best of their ability. If you get a no for permission, there is more than likely a reason. And there is.
Dave's right.
Like this year, I had a lot of guys ask me, because I have 2 government allotments up there that go with our place. Trust me, I'd rather buy that land than have to deal with the Forest Service or anybody else. But they get pounded, guys. The one is only 80 acres and the other one's 160 acres, and it gets pounded like or down in a bordella.
And trust me, I've been to Clay's. That's a remote area, and if he's getting pounded, less remote areas are getting ultra pounded.
So I watched that happen, and people say, "Hey, I got a whitetail tag." There's another thing, I think North Dakota offers a buck, an any buck and an any whitetail.
Some units are you got to pick one or the other, whitetail or mule deer. You can't.
And I'll be like, no. I had one guy kind of get up. Well, why can't I hunt? He said, "I hear you don't let anybody hunt." I said, "It has nothing to do with it. You have a whitetail tag." I said, "Have you seen any whitetails?"
Yeah.
I said, EHD took out my best buck slash the year before, and it did.
Time.
If Eric's still listening, I mean, you should have seen some of the bucks that we had coming. I'd finally gotten this place managed to where we had generational bucks coming up, but it took them out. Now on the flip side, we got mule deer moving in. I took a nice one this year, and so it's just a management thing. If he'd have had a doe tag, I probably would have let him take out a mule deer doe. We had no whitetails left.
Yeah,
it just was that. It was a simple fact that no whitetails.
And like I said, in our unit, there's way more muley. It's pretty much a muley unit now, but there's a lot of muley doe. They could give out more muley doe tags, but all right, Clay.
So Kenny responded back here.
Go for it, buddy. Go for it. Yep, go ahead, read that.
So 2G1, I'm not sure where that's at. It must be over by Fargo, I'm guessing. $46 in a half mile distance, I'm guessing, or in between cameras. 5 does. Took me 6 years to get a buck tag. Game and Fish is clueless. I agree, Kenny. And Kenny, send me your information at Clay. Just put Clay at gunsinthe701.com.
Kenny's an MVE, trust me.
That's right. Or Jamie. It's Jamie at gunsinthe701.com. Send us your information. Let's talk. Because I'm not against hunters. I'm definitely not against hunters.
Clay's got a nice gun range down there too, Kenny. And prairie dogs.
Yeah, we can
Kenny's a prairie dog, man.
Come on out and let's talk and let's see what's going on. But I do. I enjoy watching. I mean, I actually walked out here, drove up here that one day, there were some guys from Minnesota hunting the Indian land, and they weren't seeing any pheasants. They had 2 young kids with them. You know what I did? I know I shocked the hell out of them. I went and visited with them, and of course the pheasants were flying onto my stuff, but they had them kids out there working some dogs. I said, you know what? Go hit that creek, and I go up to my north place, and you've been there. You've seen the trees up there. I said, go have some fun. Now, granted, that's been a few years ago. My pheasants are dead. I got a few around, but I don't even hunt. I haven't hunted pheasants on this place.
As far
for
as
6
make
years.
it, you come up north. They're holding in good at our place. I was shocked at how many there were, and I hope a big storm doesn't come and kill them. I mean, we definitely need some more moisture coming. But
no. Eric just verified it. There were some
God! I mean, in our
studs
place,
coming up.
neighbors up there sending me pictures of dead bucks they were finding combine, and it was sick to see. I hate seeing that. But all right, Clayton, I'll tell you what. Let's do the happy ending and what we're going to talk about on Mitchell, and maybe hit on a little bit of coming up next week.
And we'll call it a night.
Yeah.
So here we go,
Otherwise,
guys.
we're going to keep going.
All right. Here's the happy ending of the week.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Never gets old.
Suck my Glock right there. You see that?
Yeah, there you go.
I think it was a Glock. I don't know.
Matthew. Clay getting pounded. I lost interest in the podcast. Well, hang in there for the happy ending.
Yeah. Hit that gym. We're going to need you for that calendar, Matt. So.
All right.
Okay. So, all right, here we go. This comes from East Hartford, Connecticut. A clothing store clerk opened fire Thursday night, shooting and killing an alleged robber who entered the store in a ski mask. Police were called to the scene about 10:30 p.m. and learned that 2 alleged robbers, both of whom were wearing ski masks, had entered the store. One of them shot the clerk in the back. This is cool right here. The clerk managed to return fire with not 1, but 2 of his legally owned firearms, hitting one of the suspects with multiple rounds. The wounded suspect was taken to a hospital where he, happy ending, died. The clerk was also transported to a hospital for his gunshot wounds, which were not life-threatening. The second alleged robber fled the scene before police arrived and is still on the loose. Well, hopefully he got a round in his ass and that thing's getting festered up on him. So
happy ending.
Happy
of
ending
the week.
of that baby. Yeah,
He assumed room temperature
Absolutely.
and no longer is doing anything.
Absolutely. So Friday, as a lot of people know, Clay and I do our segment on KFOR 550 with Todd Mitchell and Mitchell in the Morning right there. Beautiful logo. 8:40 a.m. Todd usually has us on what, Clay, between 12. Sometimes he's feeling frisky, 20 minutes sometimes.
Been 20 minutes. Yeah, I think it's kind of gaining some traction there the way it looks.
It's fun.
We made him a nice T-shirt.
Yep, right. Yeah, right there. The original assault weapon, a rock with a 30-round mag and a collapsible stock on it. But yeah, so we usually got a couple topics we hit on, and one of them we're going to hit on. Clay and I think it was the second time we were actually on with Todd. We're talking about this gun ban in Ottawa where they was going to basically take away bolt-action rifles, and some of the indigenous tribes up there went to the government meeting and said not happening. And
not so fast.
Yeah, and I think Saskatchewan and Alberta and some of the, like, I don't know what they call their governors, but they're like, good luck with that. So a rare moment of clarity for the Canadian leftist government. They withdrew the anti-gun amendment. So we're going to talk about that. And this Maryland hunter, this guy shot this beautiful whitetail buck. He was a young guy. I think he was 15 or 16 at the time. Had it mounted, proud as he should have been. And somebody stole this guy's buck, and 14 years later, he ended up getting it back in his possession. So to find out how that happened, you're going to have to tune in Mitchell in the Morning on KFOR 550 a.m. at 8:40 Friday morning. Ain't that right?
8:40 Central, 7:40 Mountain.
Right.
Mitchell in the Morning.
Sorry, I didn't mean to diss Mountain Time.
No, you're going to have to also check out the website, www.gunsofthe701.com. Go check it out. We've been adding a few things. We're going to be expanding on it. I think I found out how to make our store launch too, Jamie.
Okay.
We can talk about that when we're done. And maybe get some merchandise up there, T-shirts, koozies, things like that.
The caps are supposed to be here Friday. If they're not, they'll be here by for sure should be by next week. So hopefully I'm wearing one next week. And hey, everybody, we're getting a lot of appreciate you guys' support, saying great show. It's awesome. You guys are great,
Yes.
great supporters of the show. I can't express
know,
how much we appreciate that. It's awesome.
Last week's show, I don't know, we must have lit
We
a
kicked
fire.
ass.
I'm telling you what, I
kicked
had
ass.
more text messages and comments come in.
Yeah, we're kicking ass this
so
week too. I'm
appreciate
not going to
that.
lie. I'm not going to lie to you. And hey,
But-
thanks to all our sponsors, and thanks for Man Down Sporting Goods getting on board with us. There's room for others. Anybody else wants on board, get in contact with Clayton. Clay at gunsinthe701.com or Jamie at gunsinthe701.com.
And we're
Keep 'em
working
coming.
on, and this come from one of our fans, one of our listeners. We're going to create a membership so that, if you don't want it, I mean, not everybody can be a sponsor and an advertiser.
Right.
I mean, that's just, they
Understandable.
can't do it. So we're going to come up with some kind of a membership. Haven't really set the price yet. If you wanted to be someone who wants to support us and do that, we're kind of thinking of get a decal, have a newsletter come out, email, can koozie, kind of like some of these other, maybe a hat, depending on the membership price.
Yeah,
and you can
get a hat. You're gonna have to pay that.
Well, and that's what we're talking about, and so we'll just see where
T-shirt.
we're at on that. But if we can make it happen, we'll offer that, and we can have some fun with it as well. I'm shocked that people want to do it.
Yeah.
So,
well, Clay brought it up, and I told him, I said, I was actually thinking about that, but
Yep.
just
Well, I
throwing it out
guess
there,
with
guys,
that, we got a ton of stuff. We did not do Midwest Badass, last week. We're just going to postpone that and go to March, and we will do it that first show in March because we had a good one. We had a good one.
I want to say let's wait till these legislative sessions are over.
Well, maybe that too.
But there's so much stuff going on with gun stuff right now.
There is.
There's just other stuff right now we got to hit on, guys. It's inevitably going to get slow for topics, and Midwest Badass, I mean, we might have to put that off. It's nothing personal against Crazy Horse or anything else we're putting back. It's coming. It's going to be coming up, but we're going to get there. But right now there's just so much stuff going on. We not only can we hit on, we want to hit on.
We're
Second
we're
Amendment
just two
rights
guys
is
running
it's our
something.
jam. I mean, right, Clay? Second Amendment rights, that's our jam.
That is, yep.
And
speaking of that though, and I didn't do this, I'm going to do it now. Let me pull it up here. So this has to do. Well, there it goes. They're bringing in Dr. Douglas Frank, I believe, Sons of Liberty out there in that Dickinson area, North Dakota. Saturday, February 11th, they have him coming into Williston at 10 a.m. Dickinson at 6 p.m. My plan is I was going to try to attend that one on Saturday, but I don't think it's going to work. But that's going to be in Dickinson at 6 p.m. Sunday, 1 p.m. in Lincoln. That's just outside of Bismarck. And, of course, Monday, February 13th, it's going to be noon in Bismarck and 6 p.m. in Minot. And I can tell you that Dr. Douglas Frank is probably an expert on election fraud. He's not just working in North Dakota. They've had him on Here's the Deal. If you haven't checked that out, Here's the Deal with Luke and Shiloh.
Yep.
And I tell you what, this guy knows what he's talking about. And yes, it does exist in North Dakota. If you need more information, email me at clay@gunsinthe701.com, and I will email you this flyer, and then you'll have all the information. So Shiloh and the boys at Sons of Liberty are doing this, and I encourage you all to go check it out. I really do.
You bet. One more thing before Clay finishes out with his finishing move. Did a little video on some 223 hunting rounds, since there's going to be some youngsters, a couple of them shooting does with us this fall. You guys want to check that out? It's on Facebook, YouTube, and I don't know if Clay's got that up on our page yet, our webpage. But
I don't think I got that up there yet.
Okay, you can definitely see it on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. It's a 10-minute video. Did 2 chronos, some groups, blew some stuff.
It's a great video, guys.
It was fun to do. I enjoyed doing it. There's going to be a lot more of that coming. All right, I'm going to shut up, Clayton. You do your finishing move.
All right, guys. We appreciate everybody. Check out all our sponsors. If you go in there, tell them you heard it on Guns in the 701. Check us out on Friday morning, Mitchell in the Morning, 5:50 a.m. radio. And that's at 7:40 Mountain, 8:40 Central. And by the way, keep your powder dry.